How's everyone today? All right. I'm Todd Johnson. I'm your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. And I'm honored to be with you here tonight. And when I was asked to pinch hit, yes, that's a baseball reference, for Mr. History, Chip Jewell, I thought about my history with the fire service. This is a little audience participation here. Get ready. I remember a time before we had large chassis ambulances. Can anybody say Cadillac? All right, I say, all right, there we go. Responding on an engine with 10 people and only 6 SCBA. Those SCBA did not have positive pressure, a pass, or a HUD, right? Yeah, okay. A time before acronyms that we know so well now, ALS, RIT, ICS, and DFRS, and DVRS. And calling Squad 3 as a special alarm because it had the only hearse tool in Frederick County. If you had somebody stuck in a car, right? Folks remember that? We also staffed the station back then for a full shift, and I know that still happens now in many companies, or responded to the house siren, which doesn't happen as often in our communities these days, or to a Bearcat scanner sitting in your living room, right? Not to the app on our pocket computer, right? Folks remember that history? All right. Well, tonight we're going to honor those with similar shared experiences with awards in memory of friends who brought us from that history to the present. And those that we honor tonight are helping to move us forward into the future. So I welcome you, friends and family of our fire and rescue community, to the 26th Annual Frederick County Volunteer and Rescue Association and Ladies Auxiliary Awards Ceremony. And with that being said, I would now invite Chaplain Kathy Nipple of the Ladies Auxiliary to the podium for our invocation, please.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. For each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room, we thank you. Father, we are here tonight to give honor to all those winners that will be named for their talents, abilities, and time that they put into their work. We ask that you give us safe travels as we leave this evening to return to our homes. Amen.
Amen. Could I have our fire prevention ambassadors come to the stage, please? And at this time, I would ask those that are able to stand to please stand and honor our country and other flags of our state and county as we present the colors. Honor guard. Now if I can have the ambassador step forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So as I retire the colors, I'd like to present our Frederick County ambassadors. Junior Miss Fire Prevention, Ashley Naborchek. Junior Fire Chief, Dylan Harn. Little Miss Fire Prevention, Leah Blake. Little Fire Chief, Devin Youngerman. And MSFA Miss Fire Prevention first runner-up, Brianne Combs. And we'll be hearing from these folks in just a very short while. But this time I will welcome Chief Randy Williams from the Walkersville Volunteer Fire Company to the stage for a few opening remarks and welcome.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of President Chad Barrick, our administrative and line officers, and our membership, welcome to Walkersville Volunteer Fire Company. The Walkersville Volunteer Fire Company is proud to host this event and hope to continue to do so far into the future. Tonight, we're here to recognize the best of our volunteer service. To those award winners, I say congratulations. And thank you for your outstanding service. To the families of our winners, thank you for allowing your loved one to serve our community. And to my fellow chiefs and company officers, thank you for recognizing these outstanding performers. So once again, welcome. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Chief. This time I'd like to introduce our guest, and this is the list that was provided if you checked in. From the United States Senate, we have a representative from U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen's office, Juliana Abowitz. Thank you and welcome. From Frederick County, County Executive Jan Gardner. Thank you. Frederick County Council members, MC Keegan Eyre. From the Fire Advisory Board, we have Susan Reeder Jesse and Tim Clark. From the Maryland State Firemen's Association Auxiliary, Donna Struntz, the Junior Vice President of the MSFA Auxiliary. Thank you. Brianna Combs, who is the first runner-up of the MSFA Miss Fire Prevention. We'll see her shortly. She's back here. And Laura Denbow, who's the Senior Vice President of the MSFA Auxiliary. Thank you, Lori. From the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Oh, this is a long list here. Eric Smothers, President. Kim Shelton, Chairperson of the Fire Prevention and Life Safety Committee. Kevin Fox, Deputy Chief of the Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services. Tim Shelton, Trustee, Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Wayne Walter, Chief of the Lewistown District Volunteer Fire Department. Gary Keller, President, Graysound Volunteer Fire Department. James May, Chief of the Urbana Volunteer Fire Department. Steve Leatherman, Deputy Chief, Division of Fire and Rescue Services. Susie Nickel, Secretary of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Stand up, Susie. Thanks. Thanks. Gina Panarella, Chairperson, Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association EMS Committee. Gina here. Okay. Tim Ganley, Assistant Treasurer, Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Deborah Fox. There, oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Company Chiefs and Presidents, David Fox, Wolfsville Volunteer Fire Department President. Alan Hurley, Chief of the Rocky Ridge Volunteer Fire Department. Steve Naborchek, Chief of Wolfsville Volunteer Fire Department. Steve. Charlie Abrake, President of the Junior Fire Company. Chad Umble, Chief, Vigilant Hose Company. Brian Grossnickel, Chief, Independent Hose Company. Frank Davis, President, Vigilant Hose Company. Frank. Dave Ramsberg, President of the Jefferson Volunteer Fire Department. Okay. Richard Kaiser, President of the Middletown Volunteer Fire Department. Okay. Chad Barrick, President, Walkersville Volunteer Fire Department. Chad. Bob Jacobs, President, Citizens Truck Company. Bob, all the way in the back. Susan O'Brien, President, Urbana Volunteer Fire Department. Ben Naborchek, Chief, Newmarket District Volunteer Fire Department. Okay. Keith Brown, Chief, Junior Fire Company. Jeff Scher, President, Independent Hose Company. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium the president of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association, Eric Smothers, for some opening remarks.
Good evening, and thank you for coming. This is my fourth year standing up here, being able to represent all of our volunteers throughout Frederick County, which is 25 fire stations across Frederick County with a little over 1,800 volunteers. Each and every year, our men and women continue to answer the calls for service, whether it's the 911 call, whether it's at a carnival doing fundraising to help pay the bills and purchase apparatus. We have, if you notice, our fire ambassadors from a very young age to still having men and women in their 80s and 90s that are still showing up at the fire service, at breakfasts, at carnivals, to help their community. That's what our volunteers do on a daily basis, day by day, 365 days a year. Unabated, we ask nothing of them in return. And yet, you know, we still show up, we still raise funds, we still answer that 911 call because we enjoy and want to help our neighbor. Some of the awards that you see tonight and watch our recipients receive dignify and show that call for service. Even when you're off duty, we're never really off. When that alarm goes off, we show up. A neighbor knocks on your door, we're there to offer a helping hand. Each and every one of our providers give of themselves unabated, take time away from their families. So for the husbands, the wives, the boyfriends, the children, the grandparents, thank you for allowing your loved one to be able to be a part of us and to be a part of something much greater than ourselves, and willing to support their communities that you live in. I appreciate the time that each and every one of our volunteers give every day. Whether you're working at your local department, whether you're working or helping our association through the committees and the work that they do, each and every minute is of value and helps the citizens here in Frederick County, and you make us better, you make us stronger. It is a pleasure to go around the state and listen to folks talk about how Frederick County is leading the way in what we do. And you do that at no cost and without anyone asking you to do anything for us. You just kind of step up to the plate, you fill in where it's necessary, and we get the job done. You make it very easy for myself and our executive board here in Frederick County. Some days, yeah, it's like brother and sister. Get off of me, don't leave me alone, don't touch me. But we work through that. And, you know, by working through that, each and every one of us, we gain much valued experiences, and you help us grow and you make us stronger. So for each one of the award recipients tonight, congratulations. Thank you for everything that you do for each and every one of us. And before I leave tonight, I want to have our awards committee stand up. These folks do a phenomenal job each year to put this event on. So if you're hiding in the corner or out in the audience, if you would mind standing up, I'd like to give you guys a round of applause for making this such a great event for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And at this time, the president of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association, Ladies Auxiliary, Ramona Ridgely.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome.
I also would like to welcome everyone here tonight, that you've taken time out of your schedule to be here to honor all of these deserving people. I'd like to thank all the fire companies that submitted so many wonderful, wonderful applications, and it was very difficult on some of them to pick just one person out. So I'm glad you're here to be here to see who won and support them throughout the year. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ramona. Deputy Chief and Director of the Division of Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services, Kevin Fox.
So I had a big old speech wrote out, but Eric just hit everything on it. So don't need that anymore, do I, Eric? No, really, I look around the room and I see a lot of families, and there's a lot of family tradition within the fire service. And I just think that's just commendable of our fire service in Frederick County. There's a lot of dedicated people from the new firefighter, the recruit who just comes in, to all the way up to the chiefs of the departments, the presidents of the departments, and there's so much that you do beyond responding to that call. A lot of people go to these meetings. We have meetings galore, right? You have company meetings, we have county meetings, and your dedication is just incredible. And I just want to commend everybody for that. I think that's just amazing what you do for our fire service, and you always want to do what's right by your citizen, and I think that's just an amazing thing, and it's an honor for me to even stand up here and work along with you. So thanks for all that you do. Congratulations to the award winners this evening. I can't wait to hand out my prizes up here.
Thank you, Kevin. And from the Division of Fire and Rescue Services, Chief Tom Owens.
Thank you, Todd. Good evening. This thing seems to get bigger every year, and that's good news that the members of the companies and the association sees the importance of taking that moment to say thank you to those that have done maybe just a little bit extra in your corporations and for the county. Thank you is a very powerful word in the hectic of the day-to-day activities, both of the county and your companies. We probably don't say it enough. But with that encouragement, particularly with the new members coming into the service, one of the things that I do is I speak to every Gear Up class the first night that they come in to begin their session at the academy. And I think all of us in this room can be very proud of the recruitment effort, both the county program as well as what takes place within your individual communities that your companies manage, because we have young, new people coming into the system. Our challenge is retaining them. And in many cases, what we hear after the fact when someone has come through the process and left is that they really didn't feel appreciated, or they didn't feel like they were being cared for and nurtured at the company level, and they lost interest and moved on. We can't let that happen, folks. All across this country, volunteer fire services are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, and we are the source of changing that tide. So as these young people come into our system, we have to take care of them. We have to care for them. And hopefully at some point those new members move through the system and they are being nominated for recognition as many of those that are here tonight. So it's an opportunity for me tonight to say thank you on behalf of the Division of Fire Rescue for all that you do for our county and for your communities in particular. It is critically important work. We need it to continue, and we need to continue that effort together. So with that, I will say congratulations to all those that will be receiving awards. Thank you for the extra effort that you provide in your companies, and certainly I know that as we hear the reading of the nominations, we will all believe that they are certainly worthy recipients of the effort that they've made. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief O. And representing Frederick County, County Executive Jan Gardner.
Good evening, everyone. It's really, truly an honor to be here and to be joined by Council President MC Keegan-Air to say thank you on behalf of the citizens of Frederick County. Not only are we going to recognize the outstanding and committed individuals who will receive awards this evening for their hard work and dedication to the companies, to their communities, and to their neighbors, but we really want to say thank you to everyone who is here. Frederick County is blessed to have an active volunteer fire and rescue service and to have as many volunteers as we do. All of you as volunteers are really irreplaceable. You are people who care about the community, you care about each other, and you really are a model of service above self, something we talk about in my Rotary Club. Our volunteer companies provide top-notch service, as has been mentioned by others, and each of you and your companies has demonstrated that you can meet rigorous standards set through our accreditation process. I realize that the high quality of services that you provide save taxpayers literally millions of dollars. In fact, today I presented the county budget, and the needs within fire and rescue are more demanding, really, than any other part of the county budget, even education. So again, on behalf of the citizens of Frederick County, I say thank you for all you do. The individuals who receive awards tonight represent the hundreds of men and women who are active members of our volunteer corporations. While we most often focus on the individuals who run the calls and respond to the emergencies, we also recognize those who support our first responders and the companies behind the scenes. Many of you spend hundreds of hours working at bingo, cooking food, working at carnivals, and keeping the books. And you spend time in a number of different ways providing service and raising money to purchase apparatus, equipment, and even pay for new fire stations. And it's worth noting that the many events, from the carnivals to the pancake breakfast to butcherings, serve also as community events that really build a strong sense of community and belonging. And that's part of what makes Frederick County special. So I appreciate the volunteers and recognize that the volunteers own the majority of our apparatus, equipment, and buildings. Every volunteer company is to be commended for the efforts you put forth to protect the citizens of Frederick County, to take care of people, and to lower our tax burden. Each of you deserves to be recognized for your service and your volunteerism. So I want to congratulate tonight's award winners, and I want to personally thank each and every one of you, every member of every volunteer company, for your continued hard work and dedication. Thank you for taking the time from your families to serve your community, and thank you also to your family members who support you. I do have a proclamation that I want to read, and sometimes I skip over the proclamations, but I think there's some good things in this one that I wanted to share this evening. Whereas the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association and Ladies Auxiliary are dedicated to providing quality and cost-effective services that protect citizens, their property, and environments from the effects of fire, medical emergencies, technological hazards, and man-made or natural disasters, which would pose a threat to our community. And whereas Frederick County is the largest county in the state of Maryland, covering 663 square miles with over 1,800 volunteers who dedicate their free time to protect the citizens and property of the county. And whereas the volunteer members uphold high personal and professional standards and always act with a sense of cooperation, respect, and compassion for every member of the public and every member of their organizations. And whereas members hold as sacred the obligation to be responsible custodians of the public trust. And whereas throughout the years, the volunteer fire companies of Frederick County have proudly worn the emblem of community service and will continue to do so in the years that lie ahead. The fire halls in most communities are centers of community life. So now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby recognize the 26th Annual Awards Ceremony and all those being honored by the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association and the Ladies Auxiliary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, County Executive Gardner. Thank you to all of our honored guests that are here on the stage tonight to help with the presentations and bear witness to the presentations. So now we're going to get on to those presentations of awards. The first two awards, as you see in your program, are related to fire prevention, and we may hear the term life safety used these days also. And I'd like to call your attention to, at the end of the evening, if you would like to check out the fire prevention displays in the back of the room, please do so. The first award is the Clint Hughes Departmental Fire Prevention Award, and if Ashley Naborchek and Leah Blake can join me on stage now. Read here. You didn't have far to walk. So, all right. Okay. All right. So just real quick, I was a student for 4 years under Anna Hughes, Clint's wife, and that kind of influenced a little bit of my decision to enter the fire service. Hearing the stories about Clint from her. I was a student of hers before I was old enough to join the fire company, but that was part of my history of how I heard the history of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services through her at that time, and it encouraged me. So this award is presented in memory of Clint Hughes, a longtime member of Braddock Heights Volunteer Fire Company, to recognize total department efforts in promoting fire prevention and life safety in their community. Awards are provided for departments who participate in a year-round fire prevention program, as well as departments who participate in special projects such as an open house. Ashton Borchek will read the nomination, and the award will be presented by Leah Blake. Excuse me.
The Clint Hughes Award is presented in memory of Clint Hughes, a longtime member of the Braddock Heights Volunteer Fire Company, to recognize total department efforts in promoting fire prevention in their community. Awards are provided for departments who participate in a year-round fire prevention program, as well as departments who participate in special projects such as open house or other fire prevention projects. Each submission should be in a form of a book, such as a photo album, scrapbook, or loose leaf binder, and cannot exceed 12 by 14.5 inches. There is no limit to the thickness of the book. This award is for a department effort and must be submitted as an entry from a member company with a cover letter of the corporation letterhead. Photographs and newspaper clippings must be dated and the sources identified. Any evidence of material from previous years' activities will automatically disqualify the entry. This year there were 3 entries for the award. The winner of the 2018 Clint Hughes Departmental Fire Prevention Award is Juniors Fire Company number 2.
Congratulations, juniors. And if Brianne Combs and Devin and Youngerman and Dylan Harn could come out and join me on the stage, please, as a reader and presenters. James H. Stavely III Fire Prevention Award. I can remember pictures of somebody running around in a smoke detector outfit many years ago up in Braddock Heights when I think of this award. This award is presented to an individual in a fire department or auxiliary who does the most in fire prevention for his or her community. It is awarded in memory of James H. Jim Stavely III, a longtime member of Braddock Heights Volunteer Fire Company. The nomination will be read by Brianne Combs and presented by Devin Youngerman and Dylan Harn.
The recipient has been a member of the fire company since 1976 and is the chairman. I'm short, okay? And is the chairman of the Fire Prevention Committee since 2012. Being chairman, the responsibilities are to order all the fire prevention materials, and since he strives to educate both young and older generation, he orders materials that reflect the population as well as the types of calls his company responds to. The fire prevention items are used when students from school come to visit the fire station and for various functions at the station like dinners, banquets, and bingos, and on the yearly Santa run. He serves on the Fire Prevention Life Safety Committee for Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association. He works at Frederick County Public Schools as a special education instructional assistant and started a fire prevention program for the students in both the Challenges and Learning for Life programs. He does a yearly fire prevention program at TJ High School, where he talks to the students and staffs about fire safety for not only at home, but for school as well. He works with his staff and students on exit drills. His motto is, if he can save just one person from a tragedy by educating them, that it's time and money well spent. This year's recipient of the James Stavely Award is Steve Soul.
Congratulations, Steve, and thank you once again to our fire prevention ambassadors, a good group of people working hard there. Before I read the official notice on the next award, I think it's appropriate that we take a moment to pause and reflect on the tragedy in Paris today. The next award concerns the faith community, and that community has been dealt quite a blow today, and I'm sure a lot of the firefighters who are present on the scene there currently and were there at the beginning of that fire worshipped in that house of worship. So if we can just take a quick moment just in remembrance. Thank you. The Everett W. Gaver Department Church Community Service Award. This award is given in memory of Everett W. Gaver, a longtime member and former chief of the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company. It is presented to a deserving Frederick County fire, rescue, or auxiliary person who best emulates the qualities of Chief Gaver. The recipient must have been active in his or her fire or rescue or auxiliary, his or her community outside of his or her fire company or auxiliary, and be active in his or her place of worship. If Debbie Fox could come out onto the stage now, and Eric, if you want to come up. Debbie's going to read the nomination, and Eric will be presenting.
Good evening. The nominee is one of those individuals that every crew should be lucky enough to serve along. He somehow manages to balance kindness with humility and confidence in a way that is contagious. Within the department, the nominee is a mentor and role model. He is responsible for the development of new members and passes on his knowledge with an encouraging eagerness that helps build future public servants and leaders. He is selflessly supportive of those who need it, generous with his time and attention, and constantly reliable. He manages to lead through example without rank or position. He diligently does his job, does it well, and makes those around him better. He is a model of professionalism and commitment to the volunteer fire service. As a member of his church's musical group, he plays the drums, contributing to multiple events and faith gatherings. He is an active member of the faith worship community. As a community service, he helps his mother's church with the youth and with the nursery. His love of children reveals the kind of man he is, compassionate, caring, and selfless. Comments from his peers and leaders in the community echo the behaviors seen at the fire station. To summarize in one phrase, the nominee is the guy with the big smile that makes everyone around him better. The recipient of the Everett Gaver Department Church Community Service Award is Michael Constantine of the Newmarket District Volunteer Fire Company. Michael. And just as a reminder this evening, would recipients please go to the back after your award to get your picture taken?
Congratulations, Michael. So when I think about the next award, and several speakers tonight have mentioned community, fire service in the community. Of course, when you hear the name of this next award, you automatically are drawn to thinking of the north part of the county because the name is so prominent there. The Robert L. Renner Departmental Service Award. This award is presented in memory of Robert L. Renner, a longtime member and officer of the New Midway Volunteer Fire Company and the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association, in recognition for the non-response activities conducted by a member of a fire and or rescue department, an auxiliary, or a citizen or organization which benefited a department. Linda Canali, if you can please come to the stage, and Eric Smothers. You want to come on up? Linda will read the nomination, and Eric is presenting.
For 35 years, this nominee has served her company in elected office, working fundraising events, and taking on much of the administrative work. She has been elected to the Board of Directors, and for the past 4 years, Recording Secretary. As Recording Secretary, she handles all the administrative duties for the Board of Directors and other elected officers. She fills in for the Secretary as needed. She updates all personnel records and handles the correspondence from many of the other elected officials. In 2008, the company elected a first-time president. The nominee called her Girl Friday. She helped the president with everything from completing forms and reports to responding to letters from the local community. She handles the majority of paperwork for the company. The president recognized her outstanding work at the company banquet, acknowledging that without the nominee's assistance, the president would have had a very difficult first year. She serves on several committees, providing valuable input and administrative services. She works the majority of the fundraising events where you will find her in the kitchen. She has become a first-class iced tea brewer, knowing just the right amount of sugar to add to please our guest. She helps with cleanup after functions, many nights staying until midnight. She also helps at the community events such as the open house. In 2018, she retired from her job and now spends more time than ever at the fire station. She has become the purchasing agent, checking on supplies and making sure there are supplies on hand for upcoming events and the everyday running of the fire station. She has become a frequent shopper at the Sam's Club. The nominee is trustworthy, efficient, reliable, and not afraid to take on new responsibilities. She goes above and beyond in keeping her company in good running order. She helps the president, the chief, and anyone who needs assistance with administrative work. Cheryl Hipkins of the Urbana Volunteer Fire Department and Rescue Squad has been awarded the Robert L. Renner Departmental Service Award for 2018. Cheryl, please come forward.
Congratulations, Cheryl. This So now we're going to come to the first of 3 sets of Hall of Fame awards. This award recognizes distinguished service to the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association, the auxiliary to the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association, or an individual department or auxiliary. Up to 10 individuals may be elected to the Hall of Fame, with a maximum of 2 deceased members being selected in any given year. And I want to mention that in addition to the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association awards that the awardees will receive tonight, they will also be receiving citations from the United States Senate, Senator Chris Van Hollen's office, and also from the Frederick County Council and County Executive Jan Gardner. So Linda Canali and Eric Smothers, you're up again to do the first 2 inductees. Kathy Nipple, Eric Smothers, and Ramona Ridgely, you're on deck for number 3 and number 4.
Dedicated, passionate, hardworking, determined, responsible, team-focused. These are some of the words used to describe this inductee into the Hall of Fame. He started helping out at his volunteer fire company in 1977, 4 years before he was of legitimate age to join the fire company in 1981. He completed his first class, Basic Fire, that year. He is a first responder, firefighter, and primary driver. His leadership ability can be seen as over the years he has served as treasurer, assistant treasurer, on the board of directors, vice president, and president. He is very organized and oversees the financial stability of the company. During his tenure as a member, his company faced possible closure. It was at this time that he took over as president with the mindset that the company was not going down without a fight. He was instrumental in helping the department successfully reorganize. Not only had the department avoided closure, but in the following years, his leadership and tenacity has helped make the company financially stable and debt-free. He is very team-focused, passionate, and dedicated to the welfare of his company. He works to bring resolution to personal conflicts within the station and is always available by phone, no matter what the question or the need. He helps train new drivers and mentors younger, less experienced members. Throughout 2018, he worked in fundraising capacities for the department, with spearheading the 25 club drawings and assisting with gun raffles, dinners, countdown drawings, turkey shoots, meat bingos, and the annual mail fund drive. Who deserves it more to be inducted into the Hall of Fame than someone who saved a company from closure and has ensured the financial stability of the future? It is my honor to announce that Brian Bowler of Graceham Volunteer Fire Company is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Brian. In every organization, there are a few key members that are vital to its continued growth and success. This inductee is one of those members. He joined his company with over 10 years of experience from other volunteer companies. Over his volunteer fire service tenure, he has served in the capacity of fire chief for 16 years, deputy chief, assistant chief, training officer, vice president, and his current position of president. Through his mentoring, guidance, and unwavering support, after 16 years as Chief Operational Officer, the inductee stepped aside to turn the leadership reins over to a well-trained and experienced, proven volunteer. To date, the inductee has remained in a chief officer's position, allowing him to continue to support and mentor new officers. He is looked upon as the company's member He is looked upon by the company's members as being a true leader, knowledgeable, calm, and insightful. He is one of the most well-respected and revered members of the department. He has received many distinguished company service awards over the years, such as Member of the Year, Top Responder, and recognition for his hours dedicated to fundraising. He has chaired 3 apparatus replacement committees and is one of 2 apparatus driver trainers for new apparatus. He has served on the Response and Review Committee for the association. This is no means exhaustive, but a sample that is echoed many times over. The inductee has a vast knowledge of building construction. He is the station's all-around Mr. Fix-It. Whether it's carpentry, electrical, plumbing, general maintenance, grass mowing, or snow shoveling, the inductee is the all-around repair go-to guy. This inductee exemplifies the selfless and caring image that the public associates with members of the fire service. He is a highly respected leader. It is my great honor to announce that David Fox of the Wolfsville Volunteer Fire Company is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Sorry for screwing up the name.
No, Miss Kathy, go ahead.
Okay. This individual became a member of his fire company in 1952. He has been a member for 66 years and is recognized as the longest surviving member of his company. He worked as a paid driver from 1960 to 1999, but continued to volunteer as well during his 66 years. He has been active on many committees and participated in many company events. Life member since 1981. Supported the Ladies Auxiliary by assisting with banquets. Volunteered 1976 to 1990 on bingo and other fundraisers. Chaired the dance committees for Christmas and New Year's Eve. Chaired the fundraising committee for the uniform rank. Volunteered to assist with Christmas tree sales 1970 through 1980. He is an active member of the historical committee, an excellent source of information and identifying early members and events and photos. Active member of the MSFA 175th Anniversary Committee. He has provided financial support for restoration of fire-related historical items for the Fire Company Museum and also staffs it multiple times per year since its opening in 2014. He was a cashier for In the Streets for many years, also for open house and fundraising events. This individual is also well known for his storytelling. His recall of events involving the fire service in Frederick County during the second half of the past century not only makes for good entertainment, but also provides insight into the history and growth of the company's fire and rescue services. Although his sight is failing, he continues to assist where he can. Much of the valuable information he recalled was used during the writing and publication of the company's book. For his dedication to the fire service for over half a century, the members of the Junior Fire Company would like to nominate James Bopst for the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Hall of Fame.
By the way, I'll make a correction. It's 67 years. I'll break all the cameras.
Charlie's down there waiting on you.
Apparently not tonight.
Well, I didn't know you cared.
You're good, Eric. You're good. Stay there.
I'm just doing what I'm told. That's right. I can follow directions too.
Okay. This individual has been a member of her auxiliary since 1970. She later became an administrative member in 1984. She's been active on many committees and participated in many company events, including life member of the auxiliary and member of the historical committee since 2011. Volunteers at the company museum multiple times during the year. Was a member of the MSFA 175th Anniversary Committee. Previous member of Fundraiser Committee, Social Committee, and is now chairperson for the Meeting Hall Committee. Supported the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Museum event by organizing the luncheon for the dedication of the fire sprinkler system. Participated in the National Fallen Firefighter event multiple years by assisting with planning and serving a reception party for family members of the fallen prior to the official weekend. President of the Ladies Auxiliary from 1988 to present, member of the Board of Directors for the company from 2015 to present, also an active member of the Frederick County Ladies Auxiliary. She received the Cleta A-Break Award from the county. She volunteers at the Citizens Nursing Home, an active member and volunteer of the Frederick County Association of Retired People, and a member and volunteer at the Braddock Lutheran Church. This individual has dedicated over 49 years of her adult life supporting and serving the fire service in her community. Her leadership as president of her auxiliary has resulted in the continued growth of the auxiliary at a time where many county auxiliaries have disbanded. She has developed a strong working relationship with the fire company leadership, resulting in mutual support between the fire company members and the Ladies Auxiliary. This individual is not only respected by the members of her company, but also throughout the county. She leads by example, working behind the scene to ensure the needs of the fire service are met. It's a pleasure. The members of Junior Fire Company nominate Jane Bopst for the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Hall of Fame. Get your picture taken.
Take this with me.
Okay, that help you out?
Eric, I think you can sit down for a little while. We got these next couple covered. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good, good. If Randy Williams could make his way to the stage, please, and help me with the presentation of the Winona Winnie Crum Rookie of the Year Award. The award is named in memory of Winona Winnie Crum of the Walkersville Volunteer Fire Company and the Walkersville Volunteer Fire Rescue Company, and recognizes the accomplishments of a rookie, an individual who has less than 1 year of membership in the service to his or her fire and/or emergency medical service. Winnie was very active in both organizations and especially liked working with new members, providing tutoring and counsel. She made a supreme sacrifice and gave her life while responding on an alarm on April 2nd, 1987. Reading the nomination and presenting the award is Randy Williams.
The Winona Winnie Crum Rookie of the Year Award. This award is named in memory of Winnie Crum of the Walkersville Volunteer Fire Company and the Walkersville Rescue Company and recognizes the accomplishments of a rookie to the Fire Emergency Medical Service. Winnie was very active in both organizations, especially working with the newer members who she took under her wing, providing tutoring and counseling. This recipient became active in his home company in 2018, signing up and completing the Gear Up program. He is currently enrolled for hazmat class and will take Firefighter 1 after he completes hazmat. He has taken the CPR class through the company and has participated in many training sessions and drills at the firehouse. He was excited to be able to participate in an extrication and car fire drill held at the station. When the siren blows, he usually comes to the station. If there is room on the engine, he will ride as an observer and help as he can at the scene. And when he comes back to the station, he will help clean up and get it ready for service. Always willing to help in any way, one of the engines had all the hose taken off to go to a shop. When it came back, he was one of the few that came to help load the hose back onto the engine. He helps at most fundraisers, coming early to get prepared, and staying late, making sure everything is back in order. Ethan McClure is dedicated to helping his community. He is one of those people that you can always count on to lend a helping hand. Ethan is the definition of what a volunteer should be, always helping when and where he can. Rocky Ridge Volunteer Fire Company is proud to have him as a member. He is truly an asset to the company and the community. Ethan, congratulations.
Congratulations, Ethan. Welcome aboard. Kathy Nipple will be reading a nomination. She's already standing by in the wings here. But we have Jake and Joe Lenhart make their way to the stage to help with this presentation, please. The Louise Lenhart Auxiliary Encouragement Award. The Auxiliary of the Urbana Volunteer Fire Department and Rescue Squad sponsored this award to recognize accomplishments of a member of a fire and/or rescue department's auxiliary. Within many successful fire and/or rescue departments, there is an auxiliary that works behind the scenes, raising funds, providing canteen services, and other much-needed support. This award encourages individuals in the community to become active, not only in their fire and/or rescue department, but also in the department's auxiliary. Kathy will read the nomination, and Jake and Joe Lenhart will do the presentation.
This person nominated for the Louise Lenhart Auxiliary Encouragement Award has been an active member, or is an active member in good standing with the Fire Company Auxiliary and Fire Company since April of 2010. She attended the company and executive board meetings and county auxiliary meetings to keep up on what is happening and how she can help. During 2018, she served on the auxiliary's board of directors and historian for the auxiliary, and has served as historian for several years, especially taking many pictures. She served on several auxiliary committees in 2018, which includes bereavement, car show, Christmas party, fish fry, and many others throughout the years. She is very energetic, quiet, outgoing, pleasant, always smiling, and is well liked by members of the auxiliary. She always has a pleasant word to say to everyone and makes people feel very welcome. She works quietly and efficiently in everything she does. Whenever there is a need for help, she is right there. She keeps the auxiliary's activities moving and on track with her support. She is also very much involved in the fundraiser activities of the fire company. Even though she has a full-time job, she can be counted on working on a fundraiser before going to work in the morning and coming directly from work to continue to support the fundraiser. She assists in making pie dough for the auxiliary and fire company events and is very helpful in the success of all fundraisers such as Kinkling Sale, Fish Fry, Soup and Sub Sale, Girls' Day Out, Carnival, Car Show, Back to School Bingo, Weddings and Funerals, 2070, Community Show, Apple Dumplings, Purse Bingo, Butchering Breakfast, and many others. She's a tired lady. She pitches in for everything, including making favors for parties and events and cleanup. She goes above and beyond the job. For example, during the soup and sub sales, she seeks out order and will do special deliveries to ensure the money is raised. She just seems to know what to do and how to do it. Whenever anyone asks her how they can help, she knows immediately where the need is and shows them how they can help in that area. She is especially noted for being a worker. She moves quickly and efficiently. She is very dependable, no matter what time of day or evening. She always asks if she can help someone or if they need this or that. During a fundraiser, whenever someone has to make a trip to a store, she called out, "I'll go get it." Her dedication to the auxiliary and fire company for doing a very outstanding job this year and in the past reflects honorably on the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company Auxiliary, the fire company, and the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association Auxiliary. It is with great pleasure that Middletown Volunteer Fire Company Auxiliary nominates Rita Newman for the Louise Linhart Auxiliary Encouragement Award. Turn around and get your picture taken.
Congratulations, Lena. Kevin and Eric, you're on deck, please. This next award, talked a little bit about some of my memories from the past. So when I think about this individual who this award's named after, I think, geez, if he didn't come out and get you out of your car in the ambulance or the squad, he came and got your car on the tow truck later. Either way, he was there, right? Charles H. Mutt Dieter Jr. Apprentice of the Year Award. This award is named in memory of Charles H. Mutt Dieter, a longtime member of the United Steam Fire Engine Company No. 3. This award is given in recognition of the accomplishments and outstanding service in an apprentice or young member of the Fire and Rescue Services. The nominee must not have reached his or her 18th birthday before December 31st, 2018. I would invite Kevin Fox to read the nomination and present it by Eric Smothers.
When reading the description for the Charles H. Mutt Dieter Jr. Award, there is one sentence that stuck in my mind. It states Mutt Dieter worked tirelessly to develop knowledge, skills, and a sense of community in members of the department under the age of 18. This nominee, in her time as a cadet member, has went above and beyond for the success of the company. Her hard work and dedication is noticed by each member that walks through the doors of the station. She always has a smile on her face and is willing to help in any way. If any member, new or experienced, has a question about the LOSAP program, their membership requirements, or classes offered, the nominee can answer their questions and help them get started in the right direction. In 2018, the nominee met with the Board of Directors in an effort to partner with the Frederick High School Links program. The Links program stands for Linking Youth to New Experiences. The nominee worked tirelessly to come up with a presentation for the station membership and her high school to show what students could gain from learning about the opportunities with the fire service. She quickly got approval from both sides and worked on setting up a student-led Links experience. A group of students from the high school came to the station where the nominee had set up stations with volunteers to educate the students on what we do. The day was well thought out with important information and showing these students just what a fire department is about. The students rotated through a history lesson and station tour, EMS station, truck and hazmat station, and an ATR station. They even got to witness calls going out and units responding. Since this event, another Links experience is scheduled at the station in the spring. The nominee is always thinking ahead about the future of the company. She is trying to show the younger generation what the fire service has to offer and what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself. The nominee is always at the station when there is an event or fundraiser. She has worked the company's Christmas tree lot, decorated wreaths for sale, and worked the breakfasts. Her high school sent a letter highly recommending the nominee for this award. The letter indicated that the nominee has the second highest grade point average in her class and shows the initiative to take on a new project and see it through to its successful completion. It is my great pleasure to announce that the recipient of the Charles H. Mutt Dieter Jr. Apprentice of the Year Award is Zoe Carnegas of Independent Hose Company.
Congratulations, Zoe. If Charlie can make his way to this, Charlie Abrick, could make your way to the stage, please. The next award, of course, being a longtime member of the Junior Fire Company, I have fond memories of this individual, and not only what she contributed, but what her family contributed to our station. The Cleta Abrick Auxiliary Member of the Year. This award is presented in memory of Cleta Abrick, a longtime officer and member of Junior Fire Company and Frederick County Auxiliaries, in recognition of an individual who has been an active member of an auxiliary which is affiliated with the auxiliary of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Consideration for nomination may include administrative duties, fundraising, outstanding service to home auxiliary, or other volunteer organizations. Reading the nomination will be Debbie Smith, and presenting will be Charlie Abrick.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Is this better? Okay. The nominee for this award has proven to be a valuable addition to the auxiliary since joining in 2006. He has volunteered at more fundraisers and company events than can be listed here. In 2018, the nominee held the position of color bearer. He has taken on a leadership role by serving on fundraising committees, including dining room, apple dumplings, and many others. The auxiliary can count on the nominee to come in early on the day of a fundraising event and stay until the last pot is put away. He is very helpful in the kitchen, especially with the heavy lifting and setting up tables. The nominee keeps the auxiliary informed of county activities, by attending the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association auxiliary meetings. The nominee is involved in his church, where he is an usher. As a member of the Pathfinder Sunday School class, he organizes the packing of 80 lunches for the Mission of Mercy every other month. He is also a 4-H club volunteer, where one of his duties is judging vegetables and field crops at the Great Frederick Fair, and also at the Maryland State Fair. He grows show-quality chrysanthemums, which he takes to national shows. Members of the auxiliary wonder how the nominee has time to pursue outside activities because he spends so much time helping at the fire station. The nominee is a person with a pleasant disposition, never saying a discouraging word about anyone or anything. His easygoing attitude helps to maintain camaraderie in the auxiliary at the hectic times. The nominee is a prime example of how men complement and help the auxiliary, especially with the fundraising events. It is with great pride and appreciation that I present the Cleta Abrake Auxiliary Member of the Year Award to David Sturtz of the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company Auxiliary. Congratulations, David.
Congratulations, David. You had me at apple dumplings, by the way, there. So at this time, I'd like to call Marguerite DeMuth, Eric Smothers, Lisa Miller, and Debbie Fox to the stage to present the second round of our Hall of Fame nominees, inductees for the evening. Marguerite and Eric for the fifth inductee, Lisa and Eric for the sixth, and Debbie and Eric for the seventh inductee.
I should have been ready, I'm sorry. This person has been a valuable and reliable member of her company since the early 80s. Starting out as a member of the auxiliary, she served as historian, assistant chaplain, secretary, vice president, and president, as well as chaired many committees. After joining her fire company, she has filled positions for others as well. To name a few, she has done bingo, Easter egg hunt, 2020 raffles, dances, bake table, yard sales, storeroom supplies, Santa's Run, banquet, canteen, and hall rental. Her rental requires meeting with persons wanting to rent our facility, answering questions, giving tours, and then doing the contracts. She's usually the first one to arrive on the scene and one of the last to leave, very late in the evening. In 2012, she spearheaded the effort to provide meals to law enforcement officers assigned to their station for the G8 Summit. She and her small staff worked around the clock, serving in excess of 1,500 meals. In fact, She stayed at the station the entire time of the summit. She has served as historian for the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. She has received the Cleta Abrake Auxiliary Award of the Year. The organization could not function as efficiently as it does without persons like her working behind the scenes. The amount of time and energy she spends pertaining to the fire company business and at home is impossible to calculate or put a price on. Will Karen Stahl from Lewistown Volunteer Fire Department please come forward to be inducted to the Hall of Fame?
This inductee into the Hall of Fame joined her company in auxiliary in 2001. She is very well respected, and the members listen to her suggestions because she has a unique way of expressing needed changes and how to make those changes. She has been very involved in the management of the fire company and the auxiliary. Her quiet manner and easygoing, get-along attitude helps to provide the glue for getting many fundraisers pulled together. She has served as secretary, assistant secretary for both fire company and the auxiliary. She has chaired committees for both fire company and auxiliary. Her organizational skills help keep all the many activities on schedule and successfully completed. At many fundraising events, she can be found working in the kitchen. She is best known for her chicken corn soup. For the auxiliary, she took on a new event providing catering for the community show. The community show members were so impressed they continue to return year after year. She has done an awesome job playing Mrs. Santa Claus at the company Christmas party for the children. She has served as chaplain for the auxiliary of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. She attends the Fellowship of Christian Firefighters meetings and has been a delegate to the Maryland State Firemen's Association convention for many years. In her spare time, she has brought her talents to serving other organizations as a 4-H volunteer and helps the children with their projects. She's received an award from the Frederick Fair for all she has done for the Ag PR Committee, which includes meeting elementary school children buses at the Great Frederick Fair. At the Zion Lutheran Church, she was director of the middle and high school youth and taught Sunday school to elementary age children. How does she find time? If one was asked to describe this inductee in one word, it would be service. It is my great honor to announce the induction of Debbie Smith of the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company and Auxiliary into the Frederick County Volunteer Rescue Association Hall of Fame. This nominee joined his local fire company in 1974 at the age of 16. He is well respected and recognized for his leadership, technical proficiency, and professionalism. He is a firefighter, EMT, life member, a member of the board of directors, and has held multiple operational line officer and administrative positions throughout his years of service. He is currently a driver preceptor and an Aid 1 evaluator for the ambulances and an active contributor to in-house training. He is active in fundraising aspects of the organization to include co-chairing the company's carnival committee. This member was instrumental in assisting the Braddock Heights Volunteer Fire Company with the implementation of their new EMS service back in the day. At that time, Company 12 presented him with an award of appreciation. He is active with community groups such as the Boy and Cub Scouts, exposing them to first aid techniques such as CPR and bandaging. He has served on multiple committees of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. In 1995, he was nominated and received the Dr. James Marone EMS Member of the Year Award and has also received the company's Everett W. Gaver Memorial Award. For his dedication and commitment to the fire service throughout the years, it is with great pleasure that I share with you this evening that Carol Randy Leatherman of the Middletown Volunteer Fire Company is being inducted to the Frederick County Volunteer and Fire Rescue Hall of Fame. Randy?
So back there in the wings, just comparing some notes, Linda Canali says, "You're up." So remembering Anna Mae Hughes and my days as a thespian at Governor Thomas Johnson High School, kind of reminds me of that. They're in the wings, and she was being the stage manager, pushing me out here. So, the next award is the Fire Rescue Departmental Training Award. Linda Canali and Eric Smothers will be reading and presenting for this. Award was established to recognize the accomplishments of a company in maintaining proficiency through participation in formal fire, rescue, emergency medical services, and hazardous materials training. It is based upon the average number of formal training hours per active member for fire and rescue training completed in the prior fiscal year. All Frederick County fire and rescue companies are automatically considered for this award. Linda, if you would read the nomination, and Eric to present.
Included in these training hours are all courses and seminars sponsored by MIFRE, courses sponsored by local training academies, which are members of the Maryland Council of Fire and Rescue Academy, courses and seminars sponsored by MIMS, and courses sponsored by the National Fire Academy. Safety of the responder and the victim or patients at a fire and rescue scene or where emergency medical services are needed is paramount. Regular training and practice of basic skills will ensure the safe and successful outcome of an emergency situation. The company with the third most hours of training at 95 per active member is Newmarket District Volunteer Fire Department. Would someone please, from Newmarket, please come to accept the award? The company with the second most hours of training at 97 per active member is Graceham Volunteer Fire Department. Will someone from Grayson please come forward to accept the award? The company with the most hours of training at a whopping 125 hours per active member is the United Steam Fire Engine Company number 3. Will someone from United please come forward?
Could you hurry up a little bit?
Congratulations, Newmarket, Grayson, and United. The next award, what we've heard, again, this seems to be a theme here in Frederick County with our fire awards and the way we serve our community, and it's a family affair. The Moomaw Outstanding Service Award. And Debbie Smith and Alan Hurley are in the wings. You want to come on out, please? The Rocky Ridge Volunteer Fire Company sponsors this award in memory of the dedicated members of the Moomaw family. Their leadership abilities and determined perseverance have been so vital to the successful existence and progressive growth experienced by the company since 1949. This award is presented to volunteers who are outstanding individuals in their home, fire, rescue, and auxiliary companies, the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association, and or the auxiliary of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association. Debbie, if you would read the nomination, and Alan will do the presentation.
Okay, can you hear me? Okie doke. This nominee joined his company in 2012, and he immediately jumped in with both feet. Eager to learn the duties of a firefighter, he took Firefighter 1 and EMT, but he did not stop there. He successfully took just about every class MIFRE offered. He has been one of the top 5 responders for his company for the last 3 years. He was elected to the board of directors and currently serves as president. He has initiated changes to improve communications to aid in the decision-making process. His main focus is the future financial stability of the company. He has worked diligently to bridge the gap between the older members and the younger members, striving to form a cohesive team. The morale of the company has improved because the nominee reminds members to be sensitive of the feelings of others. He regularly attends the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association meetings and ensures the company is in compliance with county regulations. He was a member of the peer review team for the accreditation for station books in the Battalion 2. The nominee was on the fire station committee for the joint venture between the fire company and Frederick County to establish the first county-owned fire station. He facilitated the transfer of property to the county, closely watched the construction of the building, and coordinated the move to the new station. He is a firm believer that training will improve the performance of all responders. He is available to provide apparatus to MIFRE classes, and he helps train members how to operate the trucks and the equipment. He assists in the rural water drills and flashover trainings. He believes in leading by example by serving on company committees and working most of our fundraising events. The nominee is described as enthusiastic, eager to learn, goal-oriented, willing to take on new responsibilities, well-respected, gets along well with others, and is community-minded. He has consistently demonstrated his wholehearted dedication to the fire service. He is an admirable role model for current and future firefighters and EMTs of any age. After all, he was 45 years old when he became a firefighter. It is my honor to announce that Richard Kaiser Sr. of Middletown Volunteer Fire Company has been awarded, I love watching his face, the Mama Outstanding Service Award for 2018. Congratulations, Richard. Congratulations.
Okay. Congratulations, Richard. The next award will be read by Alan Hurley and presented by Eric Smothers and Gina Panarella, the chairperson of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association EMS Committee. The Dr. James Monroe EMS Member of the Year. This award is presented in memory of Dr. James Marone, Doc Marone, a longtime member of the United Steam Fire Engine Company No. 3 and the father of emergency medical services in Frederick County, in recognition of an individual's contribution as an active emergency medical services provider. Alan?
This year's award winner joined his company in 1992 and has been an active firefighter EMT, making the top 10 responders list since 1995. Most of the company's calls are EMS calls, and sometimes he has to take the call by himself to make sure the community gets the help they need. He is one of the few members that are available during the daytime hours. He helps keep the supplies on the unit and ready for service, and has taken the unit to be inspected. He has helped with fundraisers, carnival, Halloween party, open house, and Santa's workshop. The Rocky Ridge Volunteer Fire Company is honored to have someone of Matthew Moses' dedication to serve our community.
Linda Canali can make her way to the stage, please. And Eric, you'll be presenting this time also. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, thank you. They're keeping me straight up here. Firefighter of the Year. This award is presented in recognition of an individual's outstanding citizenship and exemplary job achievement as an active firefighter or rescue person. Eric?
Double duty here this evening. That's okay. The nominee has been an active member of his fire company since 1977. When his company was an all-volunteer station, he was always on the top 10 responder list. However, now that the station has career staff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the list has shrunk to top 5 responders, his name usually near the top. The nominee started out as a driver, but it was not long before he completed training to be a firefighter and an EMT. He served as rescue lieutenant and engineer, which is the position he currently holds. He is very knowledgeable as a mechanic and works diligently to keep all the apparatus in good running order. If he is unable to repair the truck or ambulance, he knows exactly where to take the piece for proper repair. Most evenings, the nominee will be at the fire station checking on the apparatus and equipment, trying to be proactive and spotting a problem before it happens. If a call comes while the nominee is at the station, he will be the driver of the responding fire truck because he is qualified to drive everything at the station, from the ladder truck to the lawnmower. Although the tanker is his favorite, the nominee's willingness to share his mechanical knowledge and will help a new member learn the basic skills of firefighting or EMS. He is a terrific mentor to new members. The nominee works the many fundraising events held by his station. He usually stays until the end, helping with the cleanup, even if it's after midnight. His usual spot is in the dish room, scrubbing pots and pans. At the carnival, he spends many hot, humid nights in the Coke stand. He is a man of integrity, kindness, compassion, and a strong work ethic. He shows respect to all older members of the company. The members of his company have confidence in his ability to maintain the apparatus. What good are fire trucks and ambulances if they continually break down? The nominee understands the risks firefighters take every day, and an unsafe fire truck should not be something they need to worry about. The Urbana Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department believes that Thomas Frank Hipkins is deserving of the Firefighter of the Year award. Frank.
Congratulations, Frank. The Firefighter Medal of Valor. This award is presented in recognition of a volunteer who performed a personal act in a courageous manner in the protection of life or lives while engaged in the mediation of a fire, rescue, hazardous materials incident, or other type of emergency response. The recipient must have exhibited courage and voluntary risk of personal safety or personal possessions in the face of danger while performing above and beyond the call of duty while on a fire and or a rescue scene. Reading the nominee will be Ramona Ridgely, and presenting will be Eric Smothers.
This nominee, on October 22nd, 2018, I'm sorry. Whoa! Phew. I knew I didn't belong up here. A box alarm was dispatched for a house fire. As the units responded, communications gave updates that a man was trapped in the basement. and the fire was reported within minutes that this firefighter arrived on scene. Located on the porch was a female that said that her husband was in the basement. The firefighter ran to the east side of the house without any personal protective gear. He pulled his sweatshirt up over his mouth and nose and entered the smoke-filled basement in search for the husband. The basement was full of smoke and zero visibility. About 5 feet into the basement, he heard a cry for help. About 20 feet into the basement, this firefighter found the adult male. He grabbed the man under his arms and dragged him outside in the stairwell. He was met by another firefighter who helped get the man out to the front yard, and the EMTs took care of the man. This firefighter did such a selfless act, putting himself before anyone else, and this is why we feel Jeff Schrey is so very deserving of the Medal of Valor. If Jeff would come forward to receive this.
As Jeff walks up here, Jeff was also the recipient this year for the Chamber of Commerce Awards here just last week for the Medal of Valor as well. So this is a double honor for Jeff.
Congratulations, Jeff. And now for the final round of the inductees for the Hall of Fame. 3 more inductees today. Bonnie Hurley will assist with reading and presenting. Eric Smothers will be presenting. And Ramona Ridgely will be reading. Yeah. Eric, you're on the next one.
You're on the second one.
And the third one. And Ramona, you're on the 10th inductee. Just make sure everybody gets up right.
Okay, this individual has held several line officers' positions within his company, including sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and second assistant chief. He is also a member of other companies and has held leadership positions in those companies as well. He has served on numerous committees during his career, including Truck Committee, 50th Anniversary, restoration of his favorite brush truck, and the Model A. He has served on the Board of Directors for multiple terms, and his latest, he has become the Fire Police Captain for Frederick County, which he is excelling at. In his career, he has organized training drills with other companies, including a drill with Independent Hose Company at the training center. He arranged for his company to participate in a public safety detail at Home Depot, an opportunity that still happens each year. He coordinates all fill-ins for his company. He arranges for the entire Carnival Week to be covered by neighboring companies for both fire and EMS. Excuse me. He especially likes fair time when his company stands by, and he has earned the title of Chief 40. He had great mentors growing up around the station that showed him the correct ways of leadership, and he is always willing to help with the newer members. He has helped with a lot of fundraising activities, and at a breakfast you can find him in the kitchen flipping pancakes. Kevin Albaugh is being inducted into the Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association's Hall of Fame.
So that's why you're back here.
Okay, this individual is no stranger to the fire station. No matter what assignment he is given, you can rest assured that it would be completed. always willing to lend a hand, and attends and works most of the fundraisers that his company hosts. He has become the handyman around the station, working on equipment, taking apparatus for maintenance, being a mentor to new members, and fixing whatever needs to be fixed. He has a long history with his company and has served in leadership positions, including lieutenant, assistant chief, and chief. He has been a driver for most of his career and a top 10 responder for most of those years. At the young age of 65, he still engages in interior attack when he isn't the driver of a unit. He is the big go-to person when it comes to anything that may need done during the day at the station. And since his station is close to the National Fire Academy, there are lots of visitors, and he entertains them with his many stories. Cliffy, as everybody else knows him, Schreiner, is being inducted into the Frederick County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association's Hall of Fame.
Alrighty, maybe I'll do better this time. This nominee joined his fire company in 1966. He was very active in all aspects of the company. This person made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty as he suffered a heart attack at the scene. He was a member of the firefighting family. He drove for a local manufacturing company and shared his skills as operator of the company's largest fire engines. During his 33 years, he served in numerous administrative positions, including secretary, treasurer, vice president, and director. He drove for over 25 years and was on the apparatus committee, fundraising chair for numerous events, and he is proud of his son who has followed in his footsteps in fundraising and driving, etc. Since the tragic passing of this person, the fire company is having a hard time filling the void he has left and all the great things he did. This person was He lived his life to the fullest and always had a smile on his face. He joked with all, and he didn't hesitate to let you know if he disagreed if that was the case. This person was recognized and added to the Roll of Honor under the National Firefighters Foundation and the National Fire Academy, and on the wall in Annapolis that honors all the line of duty deaths. His life, unfortunately, was shortened in years, but not diminished in quality. We feel he has earned and deserved a place in the Hall of Fame for all the things that he did. With great pleasure, we named Terry Myers from Emmitsburg Fire Company into the Hall of Fame. If a family member could come forward.
Congratulations to all of our Hall of Fame inductees this evening. And just as a quick reminder, if all the inductees could, at the end of the ceremonies tonight, see Ronnie Watkins in the back of the hall for your photo, please. So the thing about this next award, the person who it is in honor of, I took EMS officer from this person. I remember him saying, so, you should, as an officer, you need to be going out there and meeting the public and telling them what we do. They need to hear our story. And if you do that, Make sure you dress, and do you all know what a gig line is? And so as part of an EMS officer, he wanted to make sure we all knew what our gig line was, and that when we put on our uniform, we better make sure we have that gig line correct. So this award is the Millard Mick Mastrino Instructor Safety Award. The Mastrino family, along with the United Steam Fire Engine Company No. 3, of which Mick was a longtime member and operational and administrative officer, sponsor this award. During his years in the fire rescue service, Mick Mastrino devoted many hours to the professional development of fellow fire and rescue personnel. Be it through his mentoring, counseling, or instruction, Mick shared his knowledge and experience with others in hopes that they could perform more efficiently, effectively, and safely. It was Mick's belief that education and training were the keys to success in the fire service. Bonnie Hurley will read the nominee, and the award will be presented by Sandy Jacobs, Mick's sister.
This nominee began her volunteer career in 1996, became an EMT in 1998, and began her teaching journey in 2001, when she earned her EMS instructor certification and CPR instructor trainer certification. She took initiative, and now her company is an ASHI training center for CPR and basic first aid, which she is the training center administrator. She provides CPR, AED, basic first aid, and blood-borne pathogen courses to her members, other stations, and local organizations. Her company received a grant to get AEDs for their station and their entire community. When this happened, she maintained records of their use, supplies, and did a monthly check for maintenance and annually took them to the county for maintenance checks. She maintains the county physical records and performs the annual HIPAA training for her station. She has been a MIM-free instructor for EMT courses as well as EMT refresher courses. She was an emergency dispatcher for 911 for about 8 years and then moved to the sheriff's office where she trains the deputies on Narcan administration and CPR basic first aid. She is a natural-born instructor and enjoys educating her peers. Karen Myers is this year's recipient of the Mick Mastrino Instructor Safety Award.
So Mick also paid me a great honor one year, not too long before his passing, and he said my fruitcake was one of the best he'd ever tasted. And coming from Mick, that's quite a compliment. You know, knowing those of you who knew Mick and know how he liked to cook. Congratulations, Karen. Outstanding Unit Award. This award is presented in recognition for extraordinary bravery, teamwork, or special service provided during an emergency response. A unit can be personnel from a single department or individuals from several departments, agencies, or teams who work together on a single incident. Alan Hurley will read the nomination, and the presentation will be by Eric Smothers.
Got your hands full this time, Eric. Crews were dispatched to a vehicle accident with rollover on Spillsville Road on June 16, 2018. Prior to dispatch, a civilian drove to the fire station to advise members that he was taking photos along the railroad bridges when he noticed an SUV flipped upside down in the creek, but wasn't sure if anyone was inside the vehicle. Rescue Squad 10 responded with driver Mike Duple, Lieutenant Brian Donovan, firefighter Gerald Snyder, firefighter Brad Weddle. Engine 101 responded with driver Terry Freshire, firefighter Mike Beard, firefighter Brandon Bull, medic 30, Sarah Wills, fire police Robert Black. Thermont police officer was the first to arrive on the scene, confirming entrapment of an occupant. Crews arrived on the scene to find a SUV laying on its roof in the creek. The SUV had drove off the road approximately 55 feet and landed in the creek about 15 feet below the railroad tracks. Due to terrain, possible extended extraction time and need for additional manpower, a second squad was requested. Squad 6 responded with Assistant Chief Joshua Brotherton, firefighter Cliff Schreiner, firefighter Ingram Hasborn. Turn my page here. Firefighter Sean Wetzel, Rescue Tech Nicole Burris, Trooper 3. Upon arrival, firefighter Snyder grabbed an extension bag and found a path to be able to access the vehicle and determine what additional resources were needed. The patient was found lying in water in the rear of the passenger compartment. The patient was alert but disoriented and suffering from hypothermia. Lieutenant Donovan placed a 24 extension ladder from the top of the railroad tracks down to the water so that other resources had access to the creek. Spreaders were used to pop open the rear passenger door to make access to the female driver. The patient was placed on a backboard, strapped down, and secured in a Stokes basket. A rope was secured to the basket for lifting, and the patient was carried to the ladder, where she was raised up the ladder using the rope by crews on the railroad tracks. The extrication took about 27 minutes. The patient was loaded in an ambulance and transferred to a waiting helicopter at Sevillesville Elementary School. The patient was identified and found to be a local woman who was reported missing the day before and had to be believed to have been in the water close to 24 hours. The patient made a complete recovery. Could the units that was on there all come on up?
Mike, this is for Brandon Boyle. Can you make sure he gets that? Okay. This is Trooper 3 and Medic 30. You want hers? Okay, thank you.
Congratulations to Thurmont and Emmitsburg for that outstanding job. And thinking about this next award, it is the second award that we have in Frederick County that's in honor of somebody who lost their life at the time of service to our community. And it can just, we see this in our news closer to home, maybe not so close to home, but we must all keep in our minds that, those life safety initiatives are out there, and keep that in mind to protect us as much as we can. We do a dangerous job. But there are things that can do to help to protect us. So it's always sad when we have to have an award for somebody that lost their life in the line of duty, but it's also nice to honor them with an award. If Marissa will come and her family would make their way to the stage, please. Thank you. And Debbie Fox, there we go, okay. The Michael Wilkham Officer of the Year. The Wilkham family has established this award recognizing the accomplishment of an operational officer in memory of Michael Wilkham, Deputy Chief of the New Market District Volunteer Fire Department, who died in the line of duty on May 1993. Chief Wilkham was a very active and dedicated member of his department and worked aggressively to guide and to assist others in maximizing their capabilities. Debbie, would you read the nomination?
2018 marked this nominee's 19th year of service and 8th year as Chief Operational Officer. Under his leadership, the department has seen year-over-year growth during a period where volunteer stations nationwide are struggling with declining volunteers. In this nominee's submission, there were several areas of distinction that kept being repeated. They were mission, leadership, future-minded, fiscal responsibility, civic engagement, and being a custodian of public trust. Multiple examples can be seen in the changes made in 2018 to the company's fleet management, response area revisions, expansion of the Swiftwater responsibility, and addition of a second ambulance and reduction in response times. This nominee advocates diversity, member retention, and skills growth. Under his leadership and guidance, grants were submitted and won. Policies and procedures were reviewed and amended with the mind of what comes after 2018. His drive and commitment will assure the future success of the volunteer company. In a service so oriented toward tradition, it is rare to find a leader so willing to make changes that embrace the future. Since I've known this nominee since he was a toddler, it is my absolute pleasure to share with you this evening that Chief Ben Naborchek of the New Market Volunteer Fire Company will be receiving the Michael Wilman Officer Award. I get a hug.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ben. Could Donald and Lena Stahl make their way to the stage, please? Heart of the Volunteer Award This award is presented by the Stahl family in memory of their son, Donald Donnie R. Stahl, Jr., a longtime member and chief officer of Lewistown District Volunteer Fire Department for 33 years. Consideration for this award is given in honor of a volunteer when faced with enormous personal challenges, continues to give their all to his or her department. Reading the nomination will be Marguerite DeMuth, and presenting will be Donald and Lena.
I added some papers down there. These aren't
This person joined his company the first year it existed. When the original building was under construction, he spent... I'm sorry, you want me to start all over? It's important I read this. This person joined his company the first year it existed. When the original building was under construction, he spent his weekends working on each phase of the building. He ran the pizza stand at carnivals until his mother needed help in the inside kitchen. As his mother got older, he was always by her side. He became known as the SOB, that is, the son of the boss. He is an original member of the Coffee Club and a group that retired members who meet in the morning. They fix whatever needs repaired, clean up the mess after the functions, shop for events, and anything else that needs attention. He became the kitchen chairman after his mother's death. In 2016, he was diagnosed with cancer. Besides suffering the aches and the pains of an 80-year-old body, cancer and treatments made him miserable. In 2018, he developed problems with his stomach. We could always tell when he felt especially bad because he's very quiet and not his usual cranky self. He did not join in the usual banter that takes place in the kitchen. He stayed back and kept quiet. He spent time sitting in the chair the company has provided for him to rest, but he always shows up regardless of how bad he felt. Even though he feels lousy, he organized a meal for his class reunions 2016, 17, and 18. He also worked his magic when 700 customers showed up and they only bargained for 600. He attended all company meetings except treatment days. He volunteers in the kitchen at New Midway, working their monthly breakfasts and bingos. They too have a chair for him in the kitchen. He has shown remarkable courage and fortitude, continuing on the days that he's not feeling his best. He continues to give his best to all. I'm so proud to announce the heart of the volunteer, my best friend, Jake Lenhart.
Congratulations, Jake. The next award is in honor of somebody who was Oliver's a great friend on Church Street for many, many years. Would Susan and Chuck please make their way to the stage, please? This person also was a member of the juniors, and we benefited, and I benefited greatly from his personal guidance and experience in the time that he was with us. The Bruce L. Reeder Sr. Golden Service Award. This award is presented by the family of former County Commissioner Bruce L. Reeder Sr., who departed this earth in 2017. Acquiring membership at multiple fire and rescue companies throughout the county, Mr. Reeder was an avid supporter of Frederick County Fire and Rescue Services. This award will be presented to an active member of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service who has contributed a minimum of 50 years of active service in one or more Frederick County Volunteer Fire, Rescue, or Ambulance companies. Reading the nomination will be Bonnie Hurley, and presenting will be Susan Reeder Jesse, Bruce's daughter, and Chuck Reeder, Bruce's son.
This member has 70-plus years of volunteering, and he is a blessing to his company. He started when he was 15 years old, and his first position with the company was an assistant hose director. At the age of 17, he became a driver and a firefighter, and remained a certified driver and firefighter for over 50 years. He has held multiple leadership positions, including chief, assistant chief, operational chief, vice president, president, and served on the board of directors. As chief, he was instrumental in establishing the fire call-only telephone line in his hometown, number 7-4141, and assembled the Boy Scout Explorers program. He has served on many committees, especially every new apparatus planning committee. He helps with most fundraising events, and he brings a wealth of knowledge in business and finance to his companies. This year's recipient is John Hollinger of Village and Hose Company.
Congratulations, John. So this brings us to the end of the awards portion of the ceremony. Time for some closing remarks and, of course, recognizing those who helped to bring this evening to us. I do want to close with just a couple brief mentions. First of all, let's a round of applause for everyone who received an award tonight or was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Good job, everyone, and congratulations to each and every one of you. And doing this for the first time, there at the beginning I did mention about knowing some history in the fire rescue service. But as I worked with the members of the awards committee that was coaching me through the evening and providing me with my script, it really brought back memories as I saw some of these names here, and I know who these people are. I see their names on the plaques at the public safety training facility when I'm out there frequently for meetings. And so I know these folks that are on these awards, but it still brought back memories as I thought about that little word we had here and there, or that inside joke, or and those who I didn't know personally, the stories I heard as I grew up in the fire service. So it was a special night for me also. I'd like to now bring out Marguerite DeMuth, who is the chairperson of the awards committee, and she's going to say a few words to close before I come out to do some more acknowledgement. Marguerite?
There. You got me. I want to thank everyone for attending the award ceremony this evening. You people have really made the night a special night. Thank you. I want to thank the Walkersville Fire Department company for hosting there. They always put a date aside for us to have it each year, and we really appreciate it. I want to thank our Master of Ceremonies, Todd Johnson. He did a tremendous job. First time doing it for us, and we are mighty proud to have him. The Honor Guards, you did a fine job, and we're really pleased with you all. Thank you so very much. The Ambassadors, they are great, aren't they? Yes. I also want to thank my committee for the many hours that they dedicate to doing the work from one ceremony to the next. As I call your name, will you please stand and be recognized? First two people are my left and my right arm. Linda Canale. Where is she? Bonnie Hurley. Yes, she is. She's here. She's backstage. Debbie Fox. Alice Hipkins. Dave Keller. Kathy Nipple. Sam Lenhart. Emma Main. Monroe Main. Lisa Miller. Ramona Ridgely. Joyce Schrei. Sherry Sober. And I also want to thank President Smothers, Kevin Fox, and Alan Hurley. This job could not be done without all of these people involved. Thank you so much.
All right, and so for some additional acknowledgments, and I apologize if I repeat anyone here, the auxiliary of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association for the refreshments that we can all enjoy on the table back there before we leave. Barrick Landscaping Company for providing our floral decorations. Ron Cowboy Watkins back there in the back for providing our photographic services. Doug Novick at DC Laser for donating the graphic design on the awards. Nikki Burris, Division of Fire and Rescue Volunteer Services for providing administrative services to the committee. And the Frederick County Government Video Services for videography and editing this evening. So at this time, I would like to close out the ceremony by inviting Chaplain Tim May of the Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association to the podium to offer the benediction. Chaplain.
Thank you. Let's bow our heads, please. Gracious God, we thank you for the events of this evening. We thank you for the fellowship shared among all those who have come to serve. We ask you to continue to bless, protect, ensure the safety of each and every one who answers the calls of need and help. Continue to bless us in our service to others. May we be known as servants. May we never fail to respond to those who need us. We ask all this in the name of the Lord. Amen.
This concludes the ceremony. Thank you very much.